Your Royal Highness, my lords, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very honoured to welcome you to this session this afternoon, where we're looking at, in the face of climate change, and let's be honest right now, whose farm isn't under 3/4 of water at the moment, and I think it's very topical, and how we look at diversity to actually try and overcome and put resilience into our farm business. I've got two great speakers here today, Diana and Andy. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time introducing them. Hopefully you've read the notes in the programme, and we're trying to stick to time. What I would just say is my connection with the two. I'm very fortunate to be able to grow wild farm wheat on my own farm, and that is something I'm very proud of. And as a consultant working in sub-Saharan Africa is one of the most rewarding things I do, and it's something I can't wait to hear a little bit more about. So without further ado, I would like Diana to take the stage.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the organizers, Will, and the team for inviting us to participate in this OFC event. It's the first time, I believe, for Farm Africa. My name is Dr. Diana Onyango. I work with Farm Africa. I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya. So I'm going to share our experiences in how we support smallholder farmers in the region, in East African region, to become more resilient in the face of climate change and how we're integrating diversity in that. So we have a short video. So that's a short introduction, summary basically of what we do. With the understanding of the challenges that farmers are facing in East Africa, looking at primarily underperforming agriculture, the environment degradation, and limited market access. Sorry, I might move fast because I have many slides and I have less than 9 minutes. We work under three main thematic areas. And that's agriculture. We are looking at how can we support farmers to improve on their production and productivity, and the environment, how can they do this while sustainably managing the environment. And of course, with the increased production, we are looking at how can they now access markets and also improve on their income through this. So as I mentioned, we work in East Africa, in those countries as indicated there. And the climate change impacts on smallholder farmers in East Africa are basically what I also had shared by other farmers in other regions. Erratic rainfall and drought, as we have seen in the last 3 years or so, we had several failed rain seasons, and this also is coupled with temperature extremes. So of course, all this has an impact on the production. Pest and disease outbreaks due to the changes in the climate, and this results also in changes in how the disease characters are seen. Food degradation, soil degradation, food insecurity, of course, all those, as is also shared with farmers in other areas. What I'd like to mention is conflict and migration. That is also a challenge that rises mainly due to climate change, because now there is reduced access to resources. So there is that, competition to be able to use these resources, which results in conflict among different communities. And to address these challenges, we need to look at how can we increase access to resources and technology to the farmers. How can we help them to adapt to climate resilient farming practices? And here we also integrate issues around training. And with all this, how can they then sustainably manage their natural resources? This is including land, water, amongst others. So collaborative efforts is also needed from other stakeholders, such as governments and governmental organizations such as Farm Africa, different agencies and private sector. All these are needed to come together and help build resilience and ensure food security and livelihoods for these farmers that we are looking to support. So integrate diversity, how we approach this, we do understand that diversity can significantly strengthen smallholder farmers' resilience in the face of climate change. And smallholder farmers, particularly in East Africa, they face unique challenges due to limited resources. It could be financial, it could be also land resources, and they're also highly vulnerable to climate-related risks. So there are several ways that we approach this, one being promoting regenerative agriculture. I won't go into detail what regenerative agriculture is, as I'm sure has been shared in other presentations, but just to mention that we promote crop rotation, intercropping, as this also helps to break pest and disease cycles. We promote also crop diversity, encourage the farmers to plant various crops on their land. Livestock diversity is also another issue, basically another approach that we look at, where we promote mixed farming. In many farming communities in Africa, you'll find farmers are engaged in both crop and livestock. So we encourage them to also integrate livestock farming and breed diversity in the livestock that they are rearing. Seeing the effects of climate change, there are some livestock that are more resilient to climate change, resilient to drought compared to others. We also promote agroforestry and biodiversity through tree planting efforts. The other approach is market diversification and increasing linkages with the markets that the farmers are able to access, both local and international. We have farmers who are able to export their produce to UK and other countries. Environmental conservation is also a key issue that we also work in, looking at how can they benefit more from the ecosystem services while they are also conserving it. And also water management practices, because we know in East Africa we have periods of long rain seasons, but also there are periods of dry seasons following that. Climate resilient technology is also another issue that we look at. How can we integrate the use of mobile-based technology to help them access information to markets, information on the weather, and as well as also use this as a platform for training and capacity building and building community collaboration. In our work as Farm Africa, we are committed to ensuring gender and social inclusion. This is mainly because we recognize that there are unique contributions, needs, and constraints that men and women face in agriculture, and also with that, youth face in agriculture. So we make sure that we design gender-responsive programs, basically integrating gender and social inclusion lens in the design of this program. So we have programs specifically targeting women, specifically targeting youth, helping them to engage in profitable agribusinesses. We look at how we can ensure equitable benefits in these programs that reaches both men and women, in which includes access to resources and services that they need. We also, as I mentioned, we also focus on women and youth targeting. So we make specific efforts to target these groups by providing tailor-made training and ensuring opportunities, they are able to access opportunities for economic empowerment. Among other activities that we also promote is inclusivity in policy advocacy. We support them in that, and continued learning and adaptation. Very quickly, I'll just share some of the projects that we have implemented in the region. This is one called Regenerative Agriculture Project, funded by AGRA, where we have been able to reach over 10,000 farmers. The farmers are able to adapt and sustain the integration of regenerative agriculture practices in their production systems, and we are able to see impressive impacts of this project. One thing we are also promoting through this project is what we call the village-based advisory system. So these are basically farmers who are well experienced, and they're able to support other farmers in their area, providing an extension service. So this is just a comment from one of our beneficiaries in Embu, and she's successfully integrated regenerative agriculture in her practice. The other project is the Livestock for Livelihood project. This was funded by FCDO and Jersey Overseas Aid. We were able to reach over 10,000 women, pastoralist women in Ethiopia and Uganda to set up sustainable small-scale goat-rearing enterprises. And we saw impressive impacts in their income, in their nutritional status, because we were also looking at the nutritional status of women and children in this project. So in these areas, goats are valued assets, especially for women, because small stock is considered, women own the small stock while men own the large stock, like cattle and camels. So this project really went a long way to support on the women economic empowerment. So in summary, we see that diversity is an important practice, as it ensures that the smallholder farmers are able to improve on their income, their production and productivity. And diverse systems are also more adaptable. And better, diverse system farmers are able to be more adaptable and better equipped to handle the shocks that comes along with climate change, and ultimately improve the livelihoods of the smallholder farmers. So thank you very much.